Just very briefly, and these are going to be all right. Sorry about that, guys. Somebody was at my door. Okay, so we're going to be talking about tonight when men when they weaponize marriage. And again, I spoke about yesterday as far as has the manosphere has it went too far. And there's a reason why I am talking about these subjects. And I know it's very odd and something new for this forum, this channel here. I normally discuss these deeper subjects on my podcast, and that is Humble Dame. Okay. Humble Dame, HUMBLEDAME. Okay. You guys could go listen to that if you like these type of topics. Okay. So this is not uh, type of hate or any type of shade or anything like that. These are just things that I'm noticing in the culture, and they're very interesting to me for me to talk about. See if I should take these. I'm so sorry about that glare, guys. See if we can do it like that. Okay, there we go. All right. So, what do I mean by weaponize? Okay, let's get the definition of weaponize. If I can find my phone here. Let me grab my phone, guys. I found my phone and it's still doing the glare thing. I have to take these off. I just do not. Okay, we just do it like that today, guys. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to, because I can't, I have to be able to see what I'm reading. All right. So hopefully you don't mind the glare. I'm going to try to get that fixed. My apologies. Okay. Let me move this one out the way. Did I get that? There we go. Wow, it's picking up on like all of this. So maybe I need to get the anti-glare glasses, okay? But let's look up the definition of weaponize, okay? So weaponize means it means to exploit for the purpose of attacking a person or group or for spreading discord, okay? That's what I mean. I'm not talking about like all men. I'm talking about men as far as like a certain particular consciousness that's in men that like to weaponize marriage, okay? And this is not coming from like, oh, well, you bitter because you ain't married. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Everybody has had ups and downs. We all have had love lives and things of that nature. Sometimes they're on pause, sometimes they're active and, passionate and stuff. So, and sometimes they work out to where you can find a life partner. I am still a believer in that, and I still think that it's a beautiful and wonderful thing. I celebrate Black love. I celebrate all love, Chinese love, Asian love, Caucasian love, any type of love, Italian love, all of it, okay? Everybody deserves love. Everybody wants a life partner in which we can kind of spend with, kick it with. For me, I want the person to be my homie lover friend. We can just, what I'm saying, build things together and I can help them on their mission in life. That's what my objective is. So I'm for marriage and I'm for men, okay? I'm talking about this consciousness that's going around, and maybe you girls or gals have dated fellows like this. And you can also switch the roles as well. If this applies to women, I have not dealt with women. So if this applies to women, that this women do weaponize marriage as well. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Okay. I might just title this people, but I'm talking about more so with men. I've kind of noticed. So that's what the definition of weaponize means. Let's look up what discord. It means to target someone, right? To attack them. You're exploiting something to attack them, um, and to cause discord. Okay, so let's look up discord. It's a disagreement between people. Okay, lack of harmony. Okay, yeah, there you go. Disharmony is to cause disharmony within you, within your psyche, or within maybe people that you are associated with. Okay, let me see. It means to use gossip, lies, unfounded accusations, negative criticisms, and backbiting to accomplish this goal. That's what like sowing discord. That's basically what weaponizing means. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure. So let's read weaponizing again now that we know what discord means. Okay. Weaponize means to exploit for the purpose of attacking a person or group, or for spreading discord, or for spreading. A synonym of discord is gossip. A synonym of discord is also lack of harmony. A synonym of discord is also accusations or backbiting. Okay. That's what it means. Okay. You're sowing seeds of discord. So that's basically what I'm talking about. Why would someone weaponize marriage? Okay. And what do I mean by that exactly? Well, let's say if a man and a woman is dating, okay, And then say if let's say if they dated for a long time, right? This happens to a lot of people. You dated for, let's go 10 years. This happens a lot. You date for 10 years, and then you go through the engagement where you probably engaged for like 5 or 6 years, which is a long engagement. And then they finally, you think, oh, we're going to get married. And then what they do is they'll move on, and then, which they have a right to do, and they'll marry someone else, right? And what I mean by weaponizing it, people have a right to move on. They have the right to make the choices that's best for them. It is what it is. You live, you love, you learn, right? All fair is love and war. So we get that. I've broken up with people. I'm pretty sure you guys have too. Okay, and some people are divorced, so you can understand this as well. What I mean by weaponizing it is they'll weaponize the fact you have some of them that have this sadistic, mean energy. Well, they'll weaponize the fact that they married another woman very shortly. On the show, I married him in 2 months. Well, and I was with you for 10 years. And they'll weaponize that in a means to sow discord towards you. They want to sow disharmony. So that's what I mean by why do they weaponize or to use gossip. They'll say, well, instead of if people ask, well, why you guys didn't work out, or I watched, such and such, oh, it just didn't work out. People don't do that. A lot of times, men in particular, if they have unresolved issues, as we all do, but it'll come out in this type of way, they will not just, oh, it just didn't work out and keep it moving. They'll use that opportunity to weaponize their marriage. You can weaponize anything. You can weaponize your parenthood. You can weaponize your money. So, of course, these are other subjects I like to go into on my podcast. And you guys can go check on my podcast. So that's what this is. This is a snippet into what I like to talk about in my podcast. Just things I notice. And then I like to talk about other experiences that I've read through forums and through autobiographies or books or what have you, which I have a few books here we're going to go into, and then some personal experiences that I've had. I'm not going to tell all my business, but I'm going to say things that I might be able to relate to, so that way you can find it relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you be listening if you can't find what I'm saying relatable? So that's what I mean. They'll use it as a token opportunity to be able to shoot and spew accusations at the other person instead of just moving on. Or that's in a romantic sense. That's not only just in a romantic sense, it could also be in just a cultural, society type of sense, where you'll have men, which we all know that they categorize women. But again, to hurl accusations and say, well, this one is worthy and you're not. Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and wife, according to my beliefs, mean help me. So what you feel you need help with, maybe the person couldn't help you, or you felt that they couldn't. So that doesn't then give you the ultimate authority to be able to deem them unworthy or unmeritable or categorize them. You can categorize them according to your opinion of your life, but not over their whole life. You know what I mean? So, like, let's say if a guy has 9 kids and then he ends up married, right? Nobody has anything to say. If a woman has 15 kids, I'm over exaggerating. If a woman has 15 kids and she ends up married, they're going to say, wow, you have baggage. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, that's just how it is. Men and women are not the same. I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I agree that I'm the weaker vessel and men are the stronger vessel. Am I saying I'm weak? No. I agree that I am weaker in a lot of areas, and men are the leaders of society. They're the titans of society, the titans of their industry. I completely agree with that. I respect it. I have learned a lot. You hear me? I've learned a lot from men, okay? And I still am learning, and I really appreciate and admire those, even from afar, that I have learned things from that have tremendously helped me in my life. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who try to deem you like, oh, well, you got baggage. Oh, your best days are behind you. And they'll see a 60-year-old man get or 70-year-old get married and be like, yeah, he finally, if a woman do that, oh, they old. You're weaponizing marriage. You're trying to make it seem like that someone is not worthy of marriage, or whoever you chose to pick, or who chose to pick was more befitting than you. There's not a competition, there's choices. You see how that goes? If we're competing, we're competing for the same thing. If something was released or it didn't work out, or, in your life, your relationships, it probably just didn't work out. Maybe it took a break, whatever happens. Sometimes you go through a divorce and you go through pain and you just, want to heal and stuff like that. Things happen, right? And so if the person that you used to be connected to, or if you see, because a lot of times just be the peanut gallery, especially it'd be like the men that think like that, from afar, or they don't even have to know the person. It's just a thought process. They'll make it seem like it's a competition. Well, they won. It's not really a winning or losing thing. It's a choice. And all choices have consequences, right? And they don't have to be bad consequences. A lot of consequences can be good. They could choose someone, a life partner, a man or a woman that suits them best, that they feel that they can help them, right? Whether that's financially, a lot of people are big on that. Whether that's sexually, spiritually, there's different reasons. They might like the way the person parents. They might like the way the person looks, because that deals with aesthetics and then sexuality. People change. They may change the things, and there are different doctrines and philosophies of life. So that's the way I look at things. I don't look at people that I might have been connected with, or people that I see that other people were connected with. There's not a comparison. There's not to weaponize, because what you're doing is you're exploiting, okay, an opportunity to hurl an accusation at another person. That's what I mean by weaponizing marriage. If you chose to make a choice to marry whoever you wanted to marry, that is your choice. It should be a good choice, a positive choice, a sexy choice, an exciting choice. That doesn't deem you then to be able to categorize and stamp with the scarlet letter whoever you didn't choose, to say that they're unworthy or nobody would want them, or to point out things that you feel that are faults in that person, because whoever you chose to get married to, they have faults too. They have a lot of faults, right? So since they have faults too, my question is, why is it that we weaponize marriage in that way? Why don't people just remove themselves in a peaceful way, and then they can be able to grow and go with whoever they want to? Okay. So that's my question. That's a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand it. And I feel bad for a lot of women that don't have the verbiage or the language, or, to be eloquent with language to be able to say, well, no, I don't agree with that, even to themselves, the self talk. Okay. I see a lot of broken women, and I have areas where everybody has areas of brokenness. Okay. But I hear and see a lot of broken women that they are just falling apart because they see that, something else worked out for this person or that person. Well, first, let's stop with the comparison. There's no competition, there's just a choice. And when you look at it like that, you release people that make choices, right? This is how it goes. So, this is also to kind of give it a little bit of balance, okay? I do believe in respecting a man. Do I want a man? Yes. Do I believe anything to anyone that might have been affiliated or may have known me in the past, that think that they know me, agree with anything that they may spew towards me, that's trying to place a scarlet letter on me or deem me a certain way? No, absolutely not. I am full of love and passion, and I love to learn. I'm very teachable. Okay. I feel like this is the love connection. Remember that? And that's why here comes this book here by one of my favorite authors. And this is Sharon James. I love her. And I'm not going to read too much of it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But this is titled Becoming the Woman of His Dreams: 7 Qualities Every Man Longs For. So I believe if you're going to be something, you need to study it. You need to humble yourself and study it. So if someone has chosen to make a different choice, that's their decision. I'm still going to study, right? So when I am chosen, or when you are chosen, or when they are chosen, do not let some of these consciousness and these men weaponize marriage against you, right? Whether it's someone you was romantically involved with, you wanted to be, or somebody that, one of your friends or family, don't even do that to them, because it really makes no sense. Nobody wants to be alone. Nobody likes to be lonely. Everyone wants a life partner, somebody they can share with and feel comfortable with, and, have sexy time with, and all of that. And when it doesn't work out in a certain timeline or a certain way that they thought it would be, that's kind of like you're trying to accuse, and you're sowing discord and disharmony within something that's another person's timeline. If you were fortunate enough to get married at 18, I'm happy for you. I have a lot of my brothers that got married in their teenage years, and they're still married. If you were fortunate to get married in college or after college, I think that that's a beautiful love story. I love to hear things like that. But if you're older like me, all of the luck or all of the hope is not lost. There's plenty of people out here. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And there's actually a dating app called Plenty of Fish. Okay. So I'm just gonna just read some of the qualities that Sharon James talk about. I don't want to read too much of, or just some of the content that she has in this wonderful book here. Okay. And it says, what does prayer have to do with it? Okay. The God, then God created an intercessor. All right. So that was talking about section 1 is praise for him. Section 2 is respects him. Section 3 is adores him. And section 4 is initiates intimate friendship with him, which I think is beautiful. I love this book. Section 5 is safeguards her marriage. Section 6 encourages him. And section 7, which is the number of completion, sexually fulfills him. And she goes into these things. I think it's so beautiful. You can see I have different little posters. I used to love posters back in the day. I'm a big note taker, guys. And I used to love my little posters. It's kind of old, okay? And I with my little my little tabs there. And I like to read this. I got a lot of inspiration and information to like write poetry from this. I just love it. It's very beautiful, okay? And then I love about this book is that she gives testimonials after each chapter because she is, I'm going to tell you who she is in a minute, about from real men, right? So you heard what I just said about weaponizing marriage, right? That's my opinion. And it's a lot of women's opinion. They just won't say it. Where, stop weaponizing marriage. If you made a choice, then that's the choice that you made. Be happy with the choice that you made, or your kinfolk or your friend, your BFF, you know what I'm saying, your homeboy. If he made a choice, keep it moving. You don't have to bring up, oh well, such and such. I mean, I'm not telling people what to say. You can laugh and joke, but after a while it becomes mean spirited and it becomes weird. You know what I mean? You're trying to like brand somebody else like that's not deemable. I made the right choice. Like you don't really know if you made the right choice. You haven't got to the 7-year itch yet. You haven't made it to 20 years, 30 years. You know what I mean? And even then, a lot of people are married and miserable, so you have to be careful about that. That's why it says you want to safeguard your marriage. And the way to do that is to focus on the person that you made a choice to marry and not the person or people that you deem to be like, over there. Let that go. Okay. And then focus on becoming a woman of his dreams, right? Or becoming a woman of her dreams, whoever you chose to be with. Okay. It's not a war with, so I'm at war with my, and no, it's not no war like that. I have kids' dads that have moved on and got married, and God bless them. See what I mean? It doesn't have to be, you can have your opinions. It doesn't matter how I think they look. I can have my opinions about that. It doesn't matter how I think, their relationship is. I can have my opinions, but really, why would I really want to keep having an opinion like that? Like, I don't, not that I don't care, but it's not none of my business, basically. So it's not a reason for me to weaponize their marriage, because that can happen that way as well. Okay. So marriage is a choice to have a life partner that you feel you can do life with, or whoever your kinfolk is. That's your choice. That has nothing really to do with the other person in a negative way. It was just that they just didn't float your boat. They wasn't your speed. So if that person is not your speed, it's somebody else. If you in the fast lane, in the fast line, you got somebody in the fast lane, in the fast line. If you like a slower type of life, you know what I'm saying, chilled out or whatever, you got somebody that's a slower pace. You like somebody in the middle, you got somebody in the middle. Whatever it is, you like somebody that's, bam, boom, boom. Certain things sexually, that's what you like. You like people, how they get their money or they got this career, that's what you like, right? You make the choice that's best for you. It's a choice. It's not a competition or a comparison. Now, you do compare. Come on. You do compare. And like I said, you'll compare and say, what would best suit my life? That makes sense. And then you're supposed to release the other person. It might be messy or whatever, but after a while, release that and then stay attached to whatever you chose to stay attached to. To try to weaponize what you chose to stay attached to the person that you chose, that person just wasn't your speed. Like, keep it moving, right? And then you need to go get Sharon Jane's book. Okay, this is a good book. Now, who is Sharon James? Because look, I'm a woman, right? You like when you just you a single mom, you ain't really got, because I could hear, you know what I'm saying? You a single mom, you don't really know what you're talking about, da da da. Okay, well, that's my experience, and that's some of the things I have observed. This is a conversation from my observation and my experiences. I can express myself without telling all of my business or anybody else's, because that's not for me to do. And I don't operate like that. I don't do the gossip or what they do. It says it here to weaponize marriage. I don't weaponize my experiences either. I learn from them, and then I'm grateful for the lessons, go through the emotions, and deal with them if they come up again, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? So you don't have to do all of that. Okay, so I know you guys are saying that, but I always like to cite my sources. I don't take intellectual property because I'm an author, but I love other authors. Okay, um, and she's very learned. I like to pull in learned, well astute, studied, well studied people that are degreed, because I know people are like, you ain't got no degree and you ain't got no marriage degree. You trying to tell people about marriage and you ain't been married. You and weaponizing again. You using this opportunity to sow discord, to sling an accusation is something you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you don't know me personally, so how are you going to deem me what type of wife I'm going to be, or if I'm doomed or not? That seems a little silly, doesn't it? So it's a time to use. You're accusing someone of something. It's not a fact. That's what a lot of times opinions are. It's an accusation. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you know the person personally, and if you do, you may not know the person, the new version of the person. Your opinion could be based off an older version of me or of you or of them. Always remember that. Okay. All right. So Sharon James, you heard what I had to say. Let's go through. Excuse my kids in the background. They playing Tom and Jerry. Okay, on the video game. All right, go figure. Who is Sharon James? Okay, Sharon James is an international inspirational speaker and a Bible teacher for women's conferences and events. She is also the author of several books, including Becoming the Woman of His Dreams and Becoming a Woman Who Listens to God. Sharon and her husband, Steve, have one grown son, Stephen, which I think that's beautiful, and they live in North Carolina. Okay, she's been married for over 25 years. She's been married for a long time. Okay, so this is a well-studied lady. Okay, she has degrees. Okay, she has done counseling. She does speaking now, and she talks about that more so in the book. Okay, and I love. She also has homework assignments in here, where if you're struggling in the area, to pray for your man, like, or whatever meditation practice you do, or to respect him. You're like, well, I don't respect. She goes into that about forgiveness and things of that nature. So sorry, guys. My kids were they're arguing over the game. Okay. I mean, it's like I'm happy I got it for them for Christmas, and I got two different game consoles. But I'll put my glasses back on so I can see. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to talk about. Stop weaponizing marriage. Don't do that. If you married, bruh, be married. If you married, ma'am, be married. Enjoy yourself. But don't weaponize it against those of us who are not married yet, or who used to be married and not married no more, or who some of us shacked. You might have shacked and you learned from that, ain't shacking no more. You know what I'm saying? So people have different walks of life. They have different circumstances, different things that happen to them. That always happens. Let me go turn this. That's my plant light, guys. Let me go turn it back on because I love the light. And it's kind of like a ring light, but not really. So let's stop weaponizing marriage. Okay. So I want to, that's one end of the spectrum. The other end, if you have a marriage or if you know people that are married, you need to go get them some books. These books are useful tools. I'm a big believer in counseling. I'm a big believer in being in good counsel. People that's going to speak life into your marriage, people that's going to help you hold the thing together. Get you some friends that are married, get you around some family members that are married or some other couples, whatever organizations you are part of. If you're a part of like a UAW, right? That's a big thing down there, especially in Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Okay. I'm from the east side, 7 Mile all day. Okay. All day. So shout out to them. Okay. But they have different things on there, like different little, the big three, Chrysler, Ford, and GM, right? A lot of people work at those and they have like union halls and stuff. That's what I mean. You'll be out with like little married couples. Y'all go to little cabarets and stuff. Do stuff that's fun that brings life into your marriage. One thing that's not going to bring life into your marriage as a man or a woman and then as a couple together, because it's two that becomes one, is hating or trying to weaponize your marriage against one person or a group of people. In this instance, you either try to weaponize it against what you think is an ex, or you thought that was a prospect or a potential, or somebody that they used to be married to, or a baby mama or a baby daddy, okay? Or it could be a group of people, which are them single folk, or them women, them type of women. You know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. Everybody like different type of things. Your main objective should be pouring back into your marriage and then speaking life into your marriage and other people's marriage. It has nothing to do to be worried about somebody else's love life that you chose not to be a part of, or that somebody else chose not to be a part of, or it was amicable, right? Or it just hasn't happened for them yet. That's like me. What we go on the podcast. Some people weaponize children too, and I think that's terrible because there's some people that want to have children and they can't, and they're struggling or they're going through in vitro. So you shouldn't be like, "Well, I have kids." They probably just haven't had theirs yet, or they might be some great parents that can adopt children. You know what I mean? So there's different things we weaponize, and those are things that we basically have to build our life around, which is marriage and life partner. We weaponize body image. You know, with the whole BBL, I'm not against it, but they'll weaponize that too. They'll weaponize that too. Okay, they'll weaponize that they got married to somebody with a certain body image that you didn't have. That was your choice. How was that weaponized? No, I understand. How was that a reason? How was that an opportunity to throw accusations or sow discord or disharmony in my life or in your life? If that's a choice you made, you understand what I'm saying? Be happy with the choices you made or not. That's your business and my business. And then work on and build on what things that you chose. That's it. And then be happy about it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do all of that weaponizing stuff like that. You can move on with your life and be happy with the choices you made and just keep it moving or move around. Okay. So this is a good book. Another good book to get that's more so like encouragement for the women, for both of the people, is Healing the Shame That Binds You. This is a really, really good book. This is by John Bradshaw. I love him. This is another learned man. Okay. So for a lot of you, you ain't got no degree. I read a lot of people that are degreed. Okay. So who is John Bradshaw? He is a best-selling author of Bradshaw on the Family and the television host for the PBS series of the same name. Was born in Houston, Texas, and was educated in Canada, where he studied for the Roman Catholic priesthood, earning 3 degrees from the University of Toronto. For the past 20 years, he has worked as a counselor, a theologian, and a management consultant, and a public speaker. John Bradshaw is married and has 3 children. So anybody that I'm trying to tell you guys about marriage, you single, you ain't, but I like to study people that are married and been married for a long time. And they have studied relationships and they counsel different people from different walks of life in those very things. So my opinion is not only coming from myself, it's coming from well-learned people, good counsel, and it's coming from my experiences that I've had. I've had relationships that didn't work out. Some of them hurt, some of them is just, and wish the people the best. There's nothing to weaponize here because I will be chosen. And if I wasn't chosen by you, if you liked it, you should have put a ring on it. That's where they got that song from, right? And you just keep it moving and just be happy. You know what I'm saying? So if you like this content, this is my little deeper content. This is not my recipes or stuff like that. Check out my podcast, Humble Dame. There's something on there that will bless you or will help you. Something you'll like, something hopefully make you laugh or make you think, you know what? I was thinking that too. I just didn't have the verbiage, okay? Some people, you know, can be able to give verbiage to things and language to things that you probably haven't been able to say. That doesn't mean they're smarter than you. It just may mean that they just have that ability to do that, right? So you have your abilities, I have mine. So I hope that this helped you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, okay? All right. And so all of you guys down there in the comments, if you're married, happy anniversary. If you're newly married, hope you have a good honeymoon, or I hope you have a blessed marriage. And I hope that you guys wish that I'm going to have a blessed marriage when I meet my daddy, when I meet my priest in my home, when I meet my husband, my hubby, when I meet my man. Thank you to my man. When I meet that person, my best friend, the exquisite lover that brings out the biggest freak in me that nobody has ever seen, okay, or ever touched. All right. I hope that you guys send me good vibes too. Because look, ain't no hate over here, because remember, that was your choice. This is Diamond Chronicles. Peace.